You have $500 in an account that your family does not know about. This is not hidden money or dirty money. It is money that nobody asked about, so you never mentioned it. You are 24 years old. You work a marketing job during the day for $48,000 a year, which is decent in a city that is not cheap. At night, 3 times a week, you edit videos for a company that's 2 time zones away. Nobody at that company has ever seen your face. You found the listing on a freelance board 8 months ago, never told anyone you took it. The first payment was $140. You remember the number because it felt like finding money on the sidewalk, money that should not exist, money nobody was expecting you to have. You did not spend it. You opened a checking account at a different bank than your main one and put it there. You did not think about why you did it. You just did it. Your mother calls on Sundays. She asks how work is going. You tell her it is fine. You do not mention the job. It is not a lie exactly. It is a fact that has nowhere to land in the conversation. When she asks how work is going, she means the marketing job. It has always meant the marketing job. The other thing lives somewhere the question does not reach. By month 3, the account holds $1,200. You have stopped thinking of it as money. You think of it as the account. The marketing paycheck pays rent, groceries, and the car. The account absorbs whatever the freelance work brings in, untouched, unspent, and unmentioned. Your roommate notices you on your laptop at 11 p.m. some nights. He asks if it is work. You say yes. He does not ask which job because he does not know there are 2 jobs. You keep a spreadsheet just for yourself, updated every Sunday morning before your mother's call. It has 2 columns, freelance income and freelance expenses. The expenses column is always 0. You buy a laptop once with cash and do not mention it to anyone, not because it is remarkable, but just because there is no natural sentence that explains where a freelance editor's laptop money would have come from without explaining the freelance editing. You are 25 years old. The freelance client refers you to in 1. You now edit for 2 companies 5 nights a week of 3. The marketing job stays the same, $48,000, same desk, same stand-up meetings every morning at 9:15. Nobody there knows you spend your evenings doing work that has nothing to do with them. The account crosses $6,000. You do not buy anything with it. You do not tell your mother, your roommate, or the girl you have started seeing. She asks what you do for fun on weeknights. You say you catch up on shows. This is technically true. You edit while episodes play in the background, muted half the time. At your day job, a coworker gets a raise, buys a new phone the same week the payment's already spent before the raise clears. You watch this happen. Say nothing. You have stopped commenting on people's spending. It is not your business. Pointing it out never changes anything. You are 26 years old. The account holds $19,000. Your day job gives you a raise, $52,000 now. You do not change your apartment. You do not change your car. The raise goes into the account as everything else indistinguishable from the freelance money once it lands. Your mother asks gently if you are doing okay financially. She says this because you have been driving the car for 3 years and you turned down a trip with cousins last month citing work. She is not wrong that you said no. She is wrong about why you said no. You did not skip the trip because you could not afford it. You skipped it because the 2 freelance clients both had deadlines that week. You did not want to explain why you needed the time. You tell her you are fine. She says okay. You know she does not fully believe you. You let it sit. Correcting her would mean explaining the account, and explaining the account would mean explaining 18 months of silence. And that conversation feels bigger than the $500 that started it. You are 27 years old. You have stopped taking freelance clients. 2 is enough. 2 is manageable around the day job without either side noticing the exists. The account crosses $40,000. You open a brokerage account under the secrecy and start moving 1/3 of every freelance payment into an index fund the day it arrives before it can tempt you to spend it. Your girlfriend moves in. She sees your banking app once by accident when you hand her your phone to look something up. She sees a number she does not expect. She asks about it, not suspicious, just surprised. You tell her about the freelance work for the time. Not everything, not the number, just the shape of it. She is the person who knows any of it exists. She asks why you never mentioned it. You do not have an answer. The honest one is that the silence became its habit, separate from any reason you originally had for it. She does not push. She just says it is smart. That is the end of the conversation, and somehow that is harder to sit with than if she had been upset. That year, your mother mentions, almost in passing, that a friend's son finally got his life together after years of what she calls drifting. You know she is not talking about you. You notice the comparison anyway, the quiet ranking she keeps of which of the kids in her circle are doing well and which are not. You realize you have no idea where she would place you because she is working from information that's 2 years and $40,000 out of date. You are 28 years old. The combined accounts cross $90,000. Your day job salary is $57,000. Now 3 raises and still the same apartment, the same car, a slightly better one you bought used with cash instead of financing. Your mother notices the car and asks if you got a loan. You say you saved for it. This is true. You do not say from what. At work, someone asks what you would do with a windfall, one of those lunch conversations. You give an answer about paying off debt, which is not a lie. You have none. It just is not the real answer. The real answer is that you are already doing something with money nobody knows you have, and the windfall conversation was never really hypothetical for you. You are 29 years old. You quietly stop freelancing, but keep the accounts, letting the invested portion ride. The combined number crosses $150,000. Your day job pays $60,000. On paper, to anyone anyone who asks you look like someone making $60,000 a year with an apartment and an oldish car. Nobody would guess the number because the other number never gets spoken, so it never gets noticed. Your girlfriend is now your fiance. She knows the shape of the accounts but not the exact figure. You realize at some point you stopped updating her the same way you stopped updating your mother. Not from distrust, from habit. The number just kept living in a place conversations did not naturally go. You are 30 years old, wedding planning starts. Her parents ask carefully how the two of you are planning to afford things, the venue, the eventual house. There's a version of this conversation where you say the number loud for the first time to anyone outside your fiance. You do not. You say you have been saving and you will be fine, and something in your face must be convincing because nobody pushes further. That night, your fiance asks if you are ever going to tell people. You ask what there is to tell. She says, you know what? You say you do not see the point. She does not argue. She just says, one day it is going to come up whether you plan for it or not, and you say maybe, and the conversation ends there, not resolved, just paused. You are 31 years old. The combined accounts, day job 401k, brokerage, and the original checking account you still have not renamed from something you meant to be temporary cross $240,000. Your mother at a family dinner mentions your cousin bought a house with help from his parents and asks, not unkindly, if you and your fiance need anything for the payment. You say you are okay. She looks at you the way she has looked at you for years now, not doubting exactly, just unconvinced, holding a version of you that's slightly behind the real one. You buy the house with cash for half of it and a small mortgage for the rest. Your mother assumes the mortgage covers most of it because that is what a $60,000 a year salary would require. You do not correct the assumption. Correcting it would require explaining $240,000 she has never known existed, and by now the number carries much silence behind it to introduce casually. Moving day, your mother helps carry boxes and comments on how nice the house is for your budget. You say the market was good that year. This is also true technically, and also not the reason. You have noticed that most of what you tell her is true in the sense and misleading in the broader one, and you have stopped feeling much about that gap. It used to bother you. Now it is how the conversation works. You are 33 years old. Your net worth is then $400,000. You make $64,000 per year at your day job. To people who do not know you well, your life seems modest and responsible. You have a house, a car that's not too old, and you got married in a small wedding. Not many people know everything about your life. You are okay with that. Your wife is the person who knows how much money you really have, and she does not ask about it very much anymore. It is not a secret between you two. It is something that is true. Your mother still asks if you are doing okay, and you say yes. This time you are not just saying it to avoid talking about it. You are saying it because it is true. Your mother still thinks of you as someone who works in marketing and lives in an apartment. You have stopped trying to tell her about your life. Some things you do not talk about, not because you are hiding them, because they are hard to explain. You still have the bank account that you had 9 years ago when you only had $500 in it. You still check the balance sometimes just because it is a habit. Your wife asked you once if you would ever tell your mother how money you really have. You said maybe you would, only when it would not change how she thinks of you. Your wife asked if that day would ever come, and you said you do not know. You have thought about telling your mother times, but you never have. You have thought about what you would say and when you would say it. It never seems like the right time. Your mother still tells people that you work in marketing and that you are doing fine. She is not wrong. You do work in marketing. You are doing fine, but the money you have is not something that you can explain easily. It is something that is true, and it has been true for a long time, even if nobody else knows about it.